Eternal Atake 2, the final part. Let's talk about it.
This episode is brought to you by Skinny Pop Popcorn. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Oh, so light and crunchy. Skinny Pop Original Popcorn is the snack you've been searching for. Made with just 3 simple ingredients: popcorn kernels, sunflower oil, and salt. Snacking never felt or tasted so good. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Give yourself permission to snack and pick up Skinny Pop Original Popcorn today.
How y'all doing? Welcome to Let's Talk About It Music Review Season 10. I'm back with another episode, and guys, hey, it's the final part of the 3-part series album review of Lil Uzi's new album, Eternal Atake 2. Guys, I've been having such a blast covering this album, and we're finally ending it off. Alright, we're ending it off. As you know, Thursday night, new stuff's dropping. We're going to move on. But I want to take this final moment to talk about Lil Uzi Vert for one last time, before, we talk about anybody else throughout the week. I don't even know what we're doing on Thursday night. We'll see. But, guys, welcome to the show. The final part. Part 1. If you haven't watched Part 1 or Part 2, I'll do a small little recap. Here's the recap. Alright, now basically, the first part, we went over the 3 points. We went our overall points and how we're feeling. Then the second part, we went over all the track review. We went over all the tracks. We did all the ratings for them. There was like 16 tracks. We had a lot of tracks to talk about. A lot of stuff to talk about. But now, we are at the final part. We're at the final part, guys. And I'm very excited for the final part because, hey, we're finally going to be talking about my overall thoughts and scoring this album. Because we got to finally score this album. I can't keep hiding the score for, this long. We got to finally score. We got to do it. We got to score this album. We got to give a score. And we're going to do that this episode, guys. So, I'm going to give you my overall thoughts of how I'm feeling about this.
My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/campaign to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
This new Lil Uzi Vert album, because, there's not been a lot of positive reactions that I've seen personally about this album. I've seen a lot of hate over this album, and that could just be, people that, don't listen to Lil Uzi Vert or don't listen to probably rap music or whatever, just be leaving wild comments. But I wanted to give Lil Uzi Vert the benefit of the doubt, so I spent, about a week, about most of the week, listening to Lil Uzi Vert, doing track reviews, giving him the benefit of the doubt and all that stuff. And honestly, most of the tracks we did reviews for were overall just okay. 7 out of 10s, 5 out of 10. I don't think there was any 5. There were 7. There were 7s. There might have been. There was just 7s, I think. And 7s is always, it's just okay. It's always on the okay spell. It's not bad. It's not anything. I would bump some of this music in my own free time. That's how not bad it is. It's good background music. It's good like that. But, if I really, want to be honest with y'all and be real with y'all and give a for real album review, we've done that in this 3-part series. Being fully honest with you. And, I was wondering, how am I going to cover, overall thoughts or whatever. So I'm going to break my overall thoughts. Let's just do, honestly, guys, the last part won't be that long of an episode. So, we'll just do 2 points for my overall thoughts, and then we'll give the score and get out of here, alright? So, let's get this started. Now, to start off with my first point about this album and how I'm really feeling about it, one of the things that I'm really kind of disappointed in this album is how it falls off pretty hard, because this album really didn't have a strong start. And honestly, when I listen to, Tyler, the Creator's new album, or I listen to Glorilla's new album, or I listen to, what's another album review we did this? You know, Charlie XCX, whatever. You know, any album review I've done recently that I've given praise to, I've always, you know, have made, you know, the statement that, you know, having switch ups in your production, having, you know, anything that can really grab on, that you can grab onto and constantly replay because it's always fresh, it's always something new to listen for when you listen to the song over and over and over again. I'm not getting that from Lil Uzi Vert's new album, and that kind of, you know, does suck to say, because I do like Eternal Atake, but I don't like every track off an Eternal Atake. You know, the only reason I love Eternal Atake so much is because I used to listen to those songs over and over and over again, and I have, you know, 5 or 6 favorites that I used to listen to, so that's why, you know, I'm so nostalgic or whatever for this, you know, the Eternal Atake name. But I'm not gonna lie to you, if I'm taking off my rose-tinted glasses and my already love for Lil Uzi Vert, if I'm taking those glasses off already and I'm looking at this album, you know, as a point of view as I'm looking at it, yeah, I can't even lie. The start of this album is pretty bad. I mean, like, when I tell you, like, the Rush, the Big Time Rush song was a higher point, was a higher point than, like, the first, like, 4 tracks, 3 tracks off the album. And that is disappointing, to be honest with you. You know, if the first song doesn't even hit, or the second one doesn't even hit, or the third one doesn't even hit, and then the Rush kind of hits, but it's also just an okay song, that is not going to be... I don't know how I can praise a project that just doesn't feel like it was definitely put together, you know? The love for this album, I feel like, was not there. I don't know what the hell happened in the creation process. And maybe, you know, it's just Eternal Atake, too. You know, maybe it's just, you know, some deluxe tracks from the Pink Tape album, and he just threw them on there, and he didn't make new ones or whatever for this album, you know. But my point still stands, to be honest with you. You know, I'm not going to listen to 16 songs and only like 5 or 6 out of this whole fucking album even remotely are just okay. And I think that is a problem. And I think that's one of the reasons why I can't rate this album so highly. And honestly, it's kind of disappointing because this album does feel a little lazy to listen to. I mean, when the first track sets up maybe a concept, and then the concept is not there until the final track of the album that is just cuts off a good song to do, it's just lazy. It's just very lazy, and it's just very something that I don't want to listen to in my free time. And I'm sure you don't either. There's probably a reason why people don't like this album. And I do agree with those people. But there are good tracks on this album. And there are some, and honestly, there's a couple of good tracks, and then there's a couple of okay tracks. Actually, a few okay tracks, which I think that's a good thing. So I don't think this album is one of the worst things I've ever listened to. This isn't like fucking, you know, this ain't Tom McDonald, guys. This isn't Eminem's new fucking Slim Shady album, whatever the fuck that concept was. Like, it's not none of that. It's nothing bad. It's not like Jelly Roll, or it's not like bad music that I'm just, you know, it's not that bad. And I think, you know, the people that are saying that it's completely that bad are just over-exaggerating, because I also over-exaggerate on this show. I just over-exaggerate explaining my over-exaggerating point. So, look, to be real with you guys, that's going to lead into my second point, though. Guys, overall, this album is like the bare minimum of okay. It's the bare minimum of just alright. And then there's like just tracks that are just completely terrible to just listen to. I mean, do I really want to fucking listen to She Stank over and over and over again? Do I want to listen to that? I don't want to listen to that, alright? I would rather get hit by a bus. I would rather, you know, eat fucking, you know, I don't know. Alright, I can't even think of a point right now, but what I can think of right now is that I don't want to listen to it. And I think that's my point across most of these tracks. Just tracks that are just okay. The beat is bare minimum. The deep voices, yeah, it's okay, it's good, but, you know, if you don't do anything with it, if you don't actually, you know, rap with it, if you're just saying stuff over and over again on the hook with the deep voice, guys, it's just saying shit with a deep voice, but the same way. I mean, it's not that entertaining to me. It is really not. Guys, my overall, you know, opinion about this album, it's simple. We're going to score it and everything. This is just a bare minimum okay album. And it really disappoints me and pains me to say that, because Pink Tape was such a better album. I mean, people were saying that album was trash. Guys, I had a hell of a time reviewing that album. There was tracks that just constantly did something new. Beat switches. There was even fucking rock songs in the Pink Tape album. I just feel like Eternal Atake 2 is half baked, it's half cooked. It's fucking, you know, thrown into the oven for too fucking short, and it got pulled out and fucking released. I don't know why, you know. Maybe you needed more than 6 months, alright? Overall, this album, Eternal Atake 2, disappointing to give the score, but I'm going to give it anyway. Guys, this is like a 5 out of 10 album. So, 5 out of 10. What'd y'all think about this album? Did you hate this album? Did you love this album? I don't know, let me know. Guys, that's going to be the end of our 3-part series of the album review. We're going to move on. It's been fun talking about Lil Uzi Vert again. Hopefully, whenever he makes new music, he'll cook. Maybe he'll drop a deluxe and it'll cook. I don't know. Disappointing to say, but not the best. Not one of the best albums I checked out, especially this week, you know. You know, when you got Tyler, the Creator, and all that stuff, you know, hey. It's hard, I guess. Alright, guys. See y'all later. Bye.